Alright, welcome back to all my tiny tots, little ones, big kids, tweens, teens, everyone in between, CGs, flips, and adults. So, since I've been really lazy lately, you get a bonus chapter today. Woohoo, right? If any of y'all actually watch these all the way through.
Where is she?
Anyway, so instead of the usual 3, today we're going to be doing 4.
No. Speaking. Well, my squishmallow is missing.
Excuse my sister, she's a bit dramatic.
Demogorgon squishmallow.
Alright, so anyway, today we're doing 49, 50, 51, and 52.
I figure out that my bed ain't my squishmallow. I don't rip
And
it.
if you've seen or read any of these chapters already, I'm sorry.
Funny.
I'm just kind of going with what I got done
Squishmallow.
and what I remember doing in the last video, which was starting with CG Shot and Quackity.
Find
So.
my squishmallow. Because I don't climb under beds. That's scary.
Then you're just gonna have to wait.
Well, I need your iPad for light. Or do you have a flashlight?
No, I don't.
Well then,
Why don't you go find your flamingo lights?
flamingo.
Yeah.
Because I'm too lazy.
Alright, anyway. I hope you all enjoy the stories. I don't think there's any trigger warnings today. Although I haven't really looked through the other chapters. And each story has its own trigger warnings.
I'm gonna kill
So.
someone. That wasn't a joke.
Chapter 49. Dream Not Sap. CG's dreaming a sap nap, Little George.
One of my babies.
I swear, I'm so horrible at writing poly ships when it comes to
Me
this kind
too.
of stuff.
One of my babies is missing.
So then go look.
I don't even know how to untwist this.
CG's dreaming sap nap, Little George. George's little
reading a
age is
chapter?
about 2 to 6.
Gee, you don't
Yes.
even do that for me.
Because you don't ask. I literally asked you to look through my Sam Dude fic the other day, and you were like, "You want me to read like 20 pages?" And I was like, "No, it's only like 1 and a quarter."
No, that was like 6 pages. Yeah.
Anyways,
And I meant out of
lovelies.
my book, which you don't care about.
I literally read you like 2-3 chapters out of your book the other night. I'm so tired. Anyways, George sat up with a wide yawn, rubbing his eyes. It was late in the afternoon, from what he could tell. He didn't really blame himself, though, as he was still getting over his week-long flu and his body still felt a bit off. He debated on just laying in bed and watching TV, but decided to get up regardless, pulling himself to his feet and changing his clothes.
Anybody under there?
Neither of his boyfriends were in the bedroom
I don't find you.
or their connected bathroom, so George gave a guess that they were on the main floor or in their offices streaming or editing videos. George stifled another yawn, slipping his passy into his pocket just in case and heading downstairs. Once he was downstairs, he found Dream in the kitchen, his phone propped up on a book in front of him as he worked on cutting up some vegetables. Dream looked up from what he was doing, setting his knife down on the cutting board a safe distance away from the edge, untying his apron and leaving it on the empty counter space as he walked over towards George. "Good morning, Goggy," Dream murmured as he pulled George into a hug, placing a gentle kiss to the top of the shorter's head. "Morning, Dream. Wait, is it still morning?" George answered. Dream looked at his watch before slightly shrugging. "According to my watch, it's 13:12, so early afternoon, I guess. And for all of you American folk that don't know military time, it's 1:12 in the afternoon." Dream responded. George nodded, tilting his face up towards Dream's and placing a gentle kiss to his jaw. "I love you, Dree," he murmured, his head resting against Dream's chest. Dream smiled lightly. "I love you too, Goggy."
I'll read it.
Another day.
No, you need to find her.
Dream broke their embrace, deciding that he should get back to
that.
the
1 minute.
stuff.
That's 10 minutes. And then it's going to turn into an hour.
It'll probably only be about 10, actually.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Like 10,000 pages.
No,
Oh, is this a crystal?
leave it.
Where'd you find it?
Lynx gave it to me.
Did I have it?
No.
But it's so
I love you
cool.
too, Goggy. Dream broke their embrace, deciding that he should get back to his cooking stuff. George said his farewells and wandered around the house, looking for Sapnap to maybe get his undivided attention.
Help me later.
Me too. I need undivided attention. I'm joking. Once he found Sapnap, though, all those hopes washed down the drain. Sapnap was in the middle of a stream. George sighed as Sapnap looked up. He quickly muted himself on stream and turned to look at George. My throat just doesn't want to clear. Oh no. What's up, Sleeping Beauty? Sapnap asked, head tilted slightly to the side as he pulled his headphones down to rest around his neck. George smiled, a small, forced, and very fake one. It can wait. I should get back to streaming. Sapnap shook his head. No, it's alright. What's up, Goggy? Just still feeling a bit off. That's all. Just wanted some undivided attention. George trailed off at the end, voice growing softer as he looked down at his bare feet. Sapnap smiled gently, getting up, picking the younger up and kissing his forehead. How about we can snuggle for a bit? I'm ending my stream soon anyway. Then we can ask Dream to join us for a real cuddle party? Sapnap suggested. George blushed a bit but nodded, his face finding its way into Sapnap's chest, hiding it from the sight of viewers. A small spawn of aww. And who's that? Went up in chat, but after a while they barely noticed George's presence, the shorter falling asleep in his boyfriend's lap, only now realizing how awful his body still felt. When he awoke a little while later, his head was resting on Sapnap's chest, a soft TV show playing in the background, warm blanket thrown over the three of them. The fuzzy feeling enveloped his brain as he slept to around 3 or 4, if he had to guess. He let out a small babble, gaining the attention of the 2 taller males. Sapnap chewed lightly. Well, Dreamy, looks like you got a little baby on our hands, Sapnap murmured as he cradled George protectively in his arms. Dream nodded, a smile playing on his lips. That we do. Sapnap chuckled. You're just our little boy, aren't you, Bubba's? Sapnap whispered to George, who babbled and giggled in response, causing both of the taller males to have their heart melts from the little's adorableness. Sapnap handed George off to Dream with promises of returning soon. As promised, he did return soon. No longer than a minute later, he came back into the bedroom, bottle of milk in his hand, as he handed it to Dream, who offered it to the little in his arms. George happily took it, gulping down the sweet liquid. He began to feel drowsy again, but tried to fight it off, not wanting to sleep just yet. He heard Dream begin to sing softly as he rocked a little from side to side. Sleep well, baby, was the last thing he heard before drifting off into a pleasant slumber. Oh, apparently there are content warnings. I apologize, everyone. Chapter 50, CG, Nihachu, and Little Captain Puffy. I do apologize for this one. I haven't written Nikki or Puffy in a while, or like barely wrote them at all. So, yeah. Just a fair warning. Content warning, spoilers of the Red Banquet, and relationship with the video of Puffy taking Nikki out on a date on the S&P, because that one is super cute and super adorable. Puffy ran down the path, eventually finding herself in the forest, heading towards the ocean. Her son had died today. She couldn't believe it. She should have been the one to die, not him, not foolish, not the one who still had a whole life ahead of him. He died so young. He lost a life. So young. Puffy sank to her knees on the beach, tears pouring down her face as she sobbed. She screamed, needing to let go some of the regret, guilt, and hate she felt pulling in her gut. She screamed until her throat was raw. She sobbed until she had no more cries left in her. Everything was just numb suddenly. After a few hours of sitting on the beach in silence, she felt a warm, gentle hand rest on her shoulder. She turned her head, catching Nikki looking down at her concerned. She smiled gently, a smile that said, "Don't worry about me." Nikki didn't believe it. The smile didn't quite reach Puffy's eyes. She picked up her girlfriend, cradling her in her arms. "I'm sorry, my love," Nikki murmured to Puffy as she walked back to their house. Puffy felt her age drop. She wasn't entirely sure what was happening, as it had been a while since she had age regressed. She whined quietly, words getting caught in her sore throat as she tried to speak. "Shh, it's all right, sweetheart. I've got you," Nikki whispered into Puffy's ears. Seeming to know what's going on, Puffy nodded a bit, resting her head on her girlfriend's shoulder. Thank you, Mama, Puffy mumbled, her eyes fluttering shut. Nikki felt her heart melt, a smile spreading across her face. She vowed right then and there that no harm would ever come to her little ever again. Soon enough they reached home, Nikki carrying Puffy inside, quickly, respectfully, and carefully getting her changed into pajamas and tucked into bed. Nikki placed Puffy's favorite stuffy beside her and pulled the covers up to the little's chin. She leaned down and placed a kiss to the little's forehead, smiling gently as she turned to leave the room. A small hand reached out, grabbing onto her sweatshirt. She turned to see Puffy with wide-open eyes, pleading with her. Nikki smiled gently, taking the little's hand in her own and laying down next to her. Puffy fell back asleep into her gentle slumber as Nikki laid, humming quietly and stroking the little's hair until she fell asleep as well. Chapter 52, CG Dream Little Aw Sam Dude. So I kind of wanted to experiment with a few things, including Sam's pronouns. And I consider him more of a god, like foolish, mumsa, techno. Yeah, you get the idea. So I'm gonna make Sam's pronouns he, him, his, and they, them, theirs for this story. Sam sat in this obsidian cell he had been locked in. They were trapped in his own greatest invention, Pandora's box. They had no way to get out, and no one bothered to visit besides Dream. That didn't matter too much to him, though. He just wanted to be able to feel the sun on their skin again, to turn his face towards the light and let the bright rays sink in. They wanted to be free to build and create and protect. Gods, how he wanted to protect the people they loved. But thanks to his carelessness and their mistakes, he was unable to do any of those things. If only he had been more careful, kinder, more precautionary. Sam slumped against the wall, his energy drained, mental health the lowest it had been in a long time. They were lonely, alone, on his own, forgotten, unloved, left behind, like Tommy after he came back from exile. Sam felt tears slip down his face, but they didn't bother to move or wipe them away. It wouldn't have helped anything anyway. The sadness in their chest built, growing to an unrecognizable size as he opened their mouth and screamed out into the endless, meaningless void. He was all alone. More tears fell down their face, but he still didn't bother to wipe them away. Tears blurring their sense of reality. It helped, though. They didn't feel so lonely anymore. He fell onto his side, curled up by the lava wall, his one and only comfort possession clutched tightly in his arms, a creeper stuffy. Sam's eyes slowly shut. They fell into a dark void, exhaustion pulling out hallucinations and nightmares from every access point. They were utterly alone. He woke with a start, sitting up and gasping as they felt someone's eyes on them. A man in a neon green hoodie and white smiley-faced mask. He knew this person, didn't they? Everything came flooding back within a moment as they stood on wobbly legs, running into their caregiver's arms and hugging them as tightly as he could. Dada, Sam cried out as he sobbed into their caregiver's neck. Shh, it's all right, Sammy. Dada's here. Dream quietly reassured the little, rocking back and forth a bit, rubbing up and down the little spine. No need to worry anymore, Emerald, he murmured. Sam nodded, relaxing into the older. His CG would take care of them. He always had. They wouldn't be alone anymore. His CG was here. They were okay. They weren't alone. Sam looked around for his creeper stuffy, hugging it tightly to their chest as he tried to curl into a ball, to become ever impossibly smaller in Dream's arms, to be protected and safe from all the world's harm, to be safe from danger that lurked in the outer realm. Alright, and the last chapter for this evening. Chapter 52, CG Gusper and Little Fundy. I'll be using Zir and he, him, his pronouns for Fundy, and she, her, hers, they, them, theirs pronouns for Gusper, because that just seems to fit the both of them better. Please let me know if I read anything wrong. I'm still kind of getting used to using neo-pronouns and writing them, so I hope you'll enjoy. Gosper remembered they had a child. In fact, she knew it very well. They always remembered when Fundy was younger, when Z would awake in the middle of the night, screaming and crying, that she would go to the baby, and the only way they could get him to stop crying was to sing them back to sleep. She remembered those memories fondly of a simpler time. Nowadays, they hardly ever saw her child. Z was always off on his own, doing his own things. Not that Ghostbird blamed him. In fact, Ghostbear was honestly very busy on the usual basis too, or so they told herself. One day, though, on a walk, or rather a float, along the path, Ghostbear found their child crouched in a ball on the side of the path, crying. "Oh, sweetheart, what's wrong?" she asked, stopping to kneel, or as close as she could to kneeling in the grass next to the younger. Fundy's eyes met hers for a moment, searching their face. Then in the next, he had thrown himself onto her. Ghostbear became more worried, but focused on the task at hand, consoling their child. "Shh, it's all right, Bubs. I got you," she murmured. Fundy whined quietly, fussing a bit, tugging at their clothes. Ghostbear searched their brain for anything that might help her with the task at hand. Then it finally came to them. Age regression. Before she had died, Fundy had come out to them as being an age regressor. Of course, that's what was happening now. Ghostbear cooed quietly, humming a soft melody as she floated along, the little in their arm. Yeah, I have no idea what the sentence means. I apologize. I didn't realize this was so scattered. As she floated along. Oh no, that makes sense. The little in their arms. So just like Ghostbear's holding them. Wow. That took a whole minute. Let's go in the garden. You'll find something waiting right where you left it, turned upside down. Ghostbear sang quietly, doing small spins and wiggles as she floated their way home. She felt the little's crying cease, their breathing even and deepen, and then when they checked, Fundy was fast asleep. Ghostbear smiled to herself. Some things just never change, she thought. Some things just never change. That's the end to all my tiny tots, little ones, big kids, tweens, teens, everyone in between, CGs, flips, and adults. I hope you all enjoyed, and I should hopefully be coming out this week with some more videos and new fandoms in the next couple of weeks. I love you all. I hope you all have an amazing evening, morning, night, afternoon. Evening, morning, night, afternoon. Yeah, I don't I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.